Hey there, this is the one Boom, and today we're going to be talking about sprinting in Halo Infinite. Now, a lot of you might think, Boom, you're a Call of Duty YouTuber, I don't want to hear your opinion about Halo, but even though I cover a lot of Call of Duty, I've been playing Halo long before I played COD. The shooters that got me into shooters were Medal of Honor and Paradise Paintball, Combat Arms, and Halo. Halo CE, Halo 2, and Halo 3 were my most played games, and when I got into Call of Duty with Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 2, I also got into Halo Reach at that same time. And then, during Black Ops 2's life cycle, I was also playing a fair amount of Halo 4 towards the end of it. So, I am not new to Halo, I just don't cover it on this channel because I feel like it's a little bit out of my wheelhouse. This topic, however, isn't, so let's talk about sprinting in Halo Infinite. Yeah, the words general FPS nonsense, those words, they're not for decoration. This really is supposed to be an FPS channel. Even though I really want to stream this. My life's a mess. I've said it never, and I'm going to start saying it now. Being on YouTube is a privilege, reading the comment section isn't. So don't expect me to get into a long debate with you about the complexities of Halo's competitive design. I am simply talking about Halo Infinite as a video game. I don't care about the pro scene, I don't care about comp. All I care about is playing a couple matches of Slayer, going through the campaign, that's all I care about. So, a lot of the conversation around sprinting in Halo Infinite sort of bothers me, right? People aren't talking about how sprint is being included with Halo Infinite, they're talking about its inclusion at all. And I feel like that is the wrong way to look at it. You see, sprint is sort of a standard of modern FPS games. People like to be able to sprint, especially in a game that would be kind of silly if you moved around like Doomslayer. So I feel like it makes a lot of sense to have sprinting in Halo. Now, I'll just talk about this on a base aesthetic, completely subjective point of view. A Spartan being able to sprint, in my opinion, is badass. I'll get that out of the way right now. There's something about the look of the armor and the speed in which they're able to achieve while running that just screams super cool to me. But that's my aesthetic opinion, alright? When it comes down to sprinting in Halo, most people are concerned about the multiplayer aspect and how it's balanced. Except that's not really how it is. People aren't upset about how Halo Infinite is going to balance sprinting. I see most people just mad that it's there in the first place, but okay, you're probably worried about how it affects multiplayer, and I'm right there with you. Because sprinting in Halo does in some ways go against the entire meta of Halo, which is positioning. In Halo, positioning is key. I always found it funny when people would compare the fast-moving Call of Duty games like Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3 to Halo, because they're jumping around like it's Halo. Halo really doesn't promote a lot of jumping around. Yes, it's important, but the time it takes to fall is comparable to Super Smash Bros. You are vulnerable in the air and you'd rather probably not be stuck up there for a long period of time. So yeah, jumping in Halo games to varying degrees is floaty. There's no sprinting, there's no leaning, there is no proning, and there is no sliding. At least in the classic Halo games. So your positioning is key, your exit routes are key, how you use cover is key to your success. And then on top of that, accuracy. Accuracy is very important, but it's less important than other games in my opinion, let's say like Battlefield, where you need to control a lot of recoil and worry about random deviation and bullet drop. No, with Halo, it's more like shot pacing, it's more like good timing, but more importantly than anything, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong about any of this, I think it's all about positioning. Now, being able to sprint does affect that a fair amount, because when someone's able to sprint, their positioning's a little less important. Similarly to when Call of Duty added advanced movement, your positioning was a little less important because you had more options to escape and more places you can get to. Hallways, ladders, stairways, the entire dynamics of those things changed when people had advanced movement capabilities. Just like how long-range engagements changed drastically when sprinting was introduced to Halo, because people could bolt the fuck out of situations very quickly. And then Halo 5 added the dreaded shoulder charge. It's something I consider to be dreaded because it goes against the principles of Halo. The shoulder charge in Halo 5 allows you to helmet check somebody with your shoulder while you're sprinting. So essentially, if you're sprinting in Halo 5 and it tells you you're ready to do that and somebody comes around the corner, you can elbow them in the fucking mouth and drop their shields and then finish them off with your gun. This encouraged a lot of sprinting, and a lot of my deaths in Halo 5 were because I was thinking Halo 4, Halo Reach, but instead I got fucked because, whoopsie, that guy sprinting around the corner actually got the advantage on me. Now there was counterplay to it and things I could have done to get better, but I do think that mechanic in and of itself is sort of counter to Halo's core design, way more than just sprinting is. So my point about sprinting isn't that it shouldn't be in the game, it's that the way it's introduced needs to be very meticulous. A lot of things have to be taken into account. Is there unlimited sprint? How fast is the sprint? How fast is the sprint out time, which is the time it takes for your sprint to stop and your gun to start firing? Can you throw grenades out of sprint, or should you have to be stationary before throwing a grenade? Are you able to weapon swap or have your shields recharge during sprint? See, the thing is, in Halo 5, your shields would not recharge while you were sprinting, which I thought was a great idea. It means getting shot and then running away wasn't always the best option, so your positioning was still important. I just wish that pesky shoulder charge wasn't in the game. There's a reason I don't have any Halo 5 gameplay accompanying my words here. I don't want to steal somebody else's. I don't want to go through my channel to find the 3 videos I made on the thing, and I'm not installing the game for a test drive. Not into Halo 5, guys, sorry. I also don't like Halo 5's dashing abilities because, again, it's counter to Halo's meta, which is positioning. People that are bad at their positioning are going to be bad at classic Halo games. Even games like Halo Reach, where your sprint is very limited and can be swapped out for other abilities, completely removing it from your arsenal. You see, I love Halo Reach's ability play because jetpacks are slow, sprinting is limited, and it still makes it feel like you're choosing to have this power-up, not that you're just able to book it everywhere and dodge roll everywhere and basically make yourself a pain in the ass to fight, like putting a riot shield on your back in Modern Warfare. Boo if you do that. The last point I'm gonna make here is that 343 could easily make a playlist or just change the rules of competitive Halo so that sprinting is disabled. Sprinting might only be a thing in social multiplayer and not competitive. It might only be a thing in the campaign even, so let's not really get up on our high horses about what classic Halo should be when it's a simple modifier. You can turn it on or turn it off. And I'm sure 343 has heard the complaints, and I'm guessing there's going to be a no sprinting mode, and I wouldn't be surprised if competitive didn't have sprinting at all. You know what? One more final point. The MCC exists, and is now on Xbox and PC, and is included with Ultimate Game Pass on PC and Xbox, so there's really no reason you can't just go back and play Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 1. If you are so determined for the new Halo games to have old mechanics, it really makes me think you should go play old Halo games. It's not like Call of Duty where going back to Black Ops 2, you're probably gonna get your rank reset, you're gonna get, tons of aimbotters and hackers. No, we have remastered Halo games. Go play those. I normally don't pull out that card, but look, if you're really mad that new Halo isn't like old Halo, it makes me think you should just be playing old Halo. So let me sort of wrap this up and summarize my opinion. Halo and sprinting go together, in my opinion. I think it works fine. What it depends on is its implementation. Does it take away from the positioning meta? How far you slide, how fast you slide, how many times you can slide, those are important. How fast you sprint, how long can you sprint, how long does it take to shoot after you sprint, those things are important. How floaty are your jumps, how far can you go with them, how fast do you fall after you do them, how usable is the grappling hook, how usable will it be in multiplayer, if it exists there at all. I've seen people say if they have a jetpack in multiplayer, I'm not buying it, but I'm thinking if they have a jetpack in multiplayer, how fast will it take off? How much fuel does it have? How much aerial control do you have? Those are the things that are important to me as a sort of casual Halo player. How are these things implemented? Not whether they should be or shouldn't be at all. They aren't inherent problems, it depends on how they're introduced. Making the mechanics themselves out to be the bad guy, and again, not the way they're implemented, in my opinion, is sloppy criticism. Let Halo Infinite be Halo Infinite. Let it have its own meta, and if it gets too far away from what Halo is, we can complain. But sprinting isn't far away from what Halo is, shoulder charging is. That's my point. You gotta get a little bit more granular with it. You really can't just throw babies out with bathwater. Sprinting isn't the problem. Sprinting's implementation is what you kids should be focused on. There will be a test on this. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming out. I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.